1 in 3 women in the EU has suffered sexual or physical violence sometime in their life since they were 15 years old. That is more than 62 million women. 5% have been raped, which corresponds to 9 million women. That is equivalent even more than the entire population of Austria. 55% have been sexually harassed since the age of 15, while 32% of these victims said that the perpetrator was their boss, their colleague, or a customer. 18% have experienced stalking. 11% have been confronted with cyber harassment. So, all added up, this is no minor issue. We are talking about mothers, sisters, daughters across the EU who have been abused physically, sexually, and psychologically. It is important that the European Commission's next strategy for equality between women and men makes the impact of violence against women on all women a priority. I'm convinced that the Istanbul Convention can help to ensure that women throughout the EU are finally treated not as objects to be dealt with, but as subjects with rights. Now we need change. Change to ensure existing legislation is implemented, that there is specialist support available for victims, and that we tackle violence against women before it happens. And for this we need political leadership, resources, and a concerted effort from us all.
So as you heard, it's 28 European Union member states, about 1,500 interviews per member state, and in total interviews with 42,000 women. So it's the largest multi-country study on violence against women that has been conducted to date in the world. Most women are not contacting anybody, even after what they consider to be the most serious incident of sexual violence. So if they've been a victim of sexual violence by any partner, only 39% of women are going anywhere. And if they've been a victim of sexual violence by someone else, only 30% of women are going anywhere. So that tells you the other 70%, etc., are not going anywhere. 55% have been sexually harassed. Even when we took out some of the categories of sexual harassment to say, let's look at the more so-called serious aspects, it was still 45%. There is a need for policy responses from different fields working together. Because we looked at violence against women in different settings, we looked at domestic violence, we looked at stalking, sexual harassment. We need responses from employment, health, the education sector, that's just 3 examples, working together. We need to look critically at societal and state responses. We need to look at the scope and implementation of existing law and policies. Once people have ratified the Istanbul Convention, once the EU Victims Directive is up and running in all member states, we have to say what's the reality on the ground. The Victims Directive refers to gender-based violence, but we have to see what is the reality on the ground. Are more women going to report violence? Are the services going to be there for them? We need to target men and women, because to take this issue forward, if you see it as a women's issue, it's obviously not. It's about gender equality. It's a men and women's issue.
We also collected the support of 110 NGOs worldwide for the support of the Istanbul and ratification of the Istanbul Convention, calling again and again and again on all 28 member states and the Commission to ratify the Convention. Now we hope that with the procedure, with the treaty, we will be able to encourage, and not just encourage, we will be able to push the European Commission to commit towards this issue. But also the Council, the member states, all of us, each of us, we have to work in our member states, with our governments and with our parliaments, because it will take us a long, long, long time to find a common solution, a fair solution.
It's not enough to say we have a law on violence or against women or a law on domestic violence. Something which every country, I think, should tackle also is the perpetrators. They are an important factor in the equation, because unless perpetrators are treated, they are removed from one relationship, but then they go on to another relationship and they commit violence there as well.
But these, I mean, are the two main things that you should approach. First, every member state should ratify the Istanbul Convention, and then the Commission should put forward a comprehensive legislation that covers all kinds of violence against women.
There's a very strong commitment. Of course, more needs to be done and more will be done. I think the ratification of the Istanbul Convention is a very, very important point, and ratification should progress by member states. It would be a pity if we stop with this survey here. I think we should have the possibility to see the evolution of violence against women in Europe over time.
The prevalence of violence against women in the EU means one thing. We all have an obligation to act, because not enough is being done. Despite efforts undertaken in recent years, too many women are still affected by violence. Where there is violence, there can be no equality. And equality between men and women lays at the heart of the European values. Today, Europe takes another step forward in the struggle to eradicate violence against women. For too long, it has been a hidden scandal. We need to know the problem in order to fix it. The landmark survey that the Fundamental Rights Agency has presented today represents a real breakthrough. Its scale and rigor are unique, and it has given a voice to the victims of violence, at least.